Now entered into Old Chicago, Universal's 1973 Academy Award-winning film for Best Picture, The Sting. This is where Robert Redford and Paul Newman ran along with the elevated trains on the streets of Chicago. To the driver's sides of the theater, there was the burlesque house for the movie. It's our New York street scene, but we can change it into any major metropolitan street simply by dressing it appropriately. We've changed it into Seattle, Washington for Harry and the Hendersons, starring John Lithgow. This area has also been seen as San Francisco. Warner Brothers production of Dirty Harry, starring Clint Eastwood. We recently used this for Columbia Pictures' presentation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's an upcoming movie starring Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves, Gary Oldman, and recent Academy Award-winning actor from The Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins. On the back sides of the facades, they place corrugated metal. That way when the sun shines through the building, it doesn't blow the illusion that these are just fake fronts. They curve the streets on either end of New York Street to give the illusion that it goes far beyond where the camera sees. These areas were also used for the movie Topaz and Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller, The Torn Curtain. Metropolitan street areas are obviously exterior use, and they are to work on this bridge or do something with it. It looks like it's kind of falling apart over there. We'll go up on to the top side of the bridge, and you'll notice from the back side how it's decayed since it was built back in 1950. Let's go on. Oh, this built we wanted to go up the bridge. I think that road's blocked out the wrong side that we were going to go up. Probably because of all those mudslides we had here from the rain. Everyone just stay seated, hold on tight. See, this area is very sturdy and stable. Take a good road, Ron. Whoa! Maybe not. Alright, that's your wake-up call. You better all be awake now. That's it. Everyone's still with us, right? Make sure we didn't leave it down below that water. The bridge was built back in the 1970s, actually. All of the hydraulic operations were just recently onto the bridge. Now we went back here around my side. Notice the bridge lifting itself back up hydraulically, and they use this for episodes of the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman, starring Lindsay Wagner. They built the bridge specifically here to give it a rustic look because of the background hillside with those plants and trees, enabling it to have that country time feel. Our plants and trees always play a very important part to all of our shootings. Without the appropriate greenery, trees in the mountain ranges of Sicily, you wouldn't believe we were there. So contact our nursery. Several of them are located around the back lot. The old greens department's off to the driver's side. They have over 2,000 different plants for us to use here at Universal. 200 different varieties ranging in size from 3 inches to 30 feet in height. And if the leaves and stems on these plants become brown and wilted, we just simply spray paint it with green vegetable dye. And if we wanted to create a seasonal type of feel, we just bring out our vegetable dye for orange-brown colors for an autumn type of setting. A wintertime scene, we just simply spray paint the branches white. Forest fire type of scene. Tree trunks would be spray painted with black spray paint to give it a charred look. We've been having some strange weather around here in Southern California lately. Very humid, actually had some rain last couple of days, but it seems like a sunny day today. So weren't they predicting some rain? Especially in this portion of the back lot for today. Yes, there it is. Three cats and dogs over there to the driver's side. Over to my side, though, it's clear and dry. You want to pick your belongings up off the floor, aim your cameras to the top of the hill, because when it rains, it pours. Flash floods. Here comes one.
José María. Ahora, joder, José María. Guarda. Hey, José María.
Perdón. Mira el árbol, tío. Pues cojonudo.
To create this effect, we put sprinklers in the facades and trees, shoot the water straight in the air. That way it comes back down in a natural rainfall effect as if it was coming from clouds in the sky. We store thousands of gallons of water in tanks at the top of the hill, release it on our own cue. The water comes flooding down the hill, back under this bridge where we have pumps down here, pumps the water back up to the tanks. We can use it as recycled water over and over again, take after take. Effects like this used in the movie The River, starring Sissy Spacek and Mel Gibson. This area was also seen as part of Bible Land in the movie Fletch Lives, starring Chevy Chase. Mr. Chase also did another one of his movies here in this portion of the back lot. This is Old Mexico, and he did Orion's Three Amigos here with his co-stars Steve Martin and Martin Short. When the boys from Simon & Simon crossed the border into Mexico, they just came here to this portion of the back lot. To my side is a stable that they used in the movie My Little Chickadee, starring W.C. Fields and Mae West. And it's 6 Points, Texas, our Old West sense. This is the most filmed location site in the entire world. They made over 200 movies a year here back in our early days. A different movie was set up on each one of these streets. They'd all be filming at the same time, make as much noise as they wanted to because they were silent westerns. On each one of the streets, they have their own motel, saloon, bank, and sheriff's office, so that when the script called for the good guy to chase the bad guy out of town, in Laramie, she used more as a modern Midwest community right now for episodes of Jake and the Fat Man starring William Conrad and Matlock of Viacom. To the driver's side is a round tank that's used for difficult underwater shooting scenes. They fill the tank up with water, put the actors inside, then the cameras and crew stay on the outside nice and dry, shooting through windows on the side of the tank underneath those wooden planks. Also to the driver's side in front of the tram is a sound stage. The numbers 468 are marked to the right of it. She used, it's the only soundstage of its kind. They have mock-ups of 747 airplanes inside there, so most of the interior airplane scenes that you see are shot inside that soundstage. They did a movie called The Chimpanzee, or an animal rights activist episode. It's highly acclaimed. They're currently doing a Quantum Leap episode. They started their first one this week. They're shooting over in Brentwood right now. And the military vehicles that you see out here were used in the feature film MacArthur, starring Gregory Peck. This water out here that you see is a man-made lake. All the bodies of water in our back lot area are man-made lakes. Depths up to about 6 feet deep, concrete bottoms. Across the way from the water, Ernie's Service is where Andy Griffith gets his gas in the Matlock television series. And this body of water out here off to my side, believe it or not, it was used as the entire Pacific Ocean for McHale's Navy, starring Tim Conway and Ernest Borgnine. Now they left some underwater explosives out here in the Pacific Ocean, so watch for those. And a big McHale's Navy fanfare right to the Red Sea. This is inspired by Paramount's The Ten Commandments. And it looks like Moses is in practice right now, parting the Red Seas for us so that we can take a trip through the Red Sea area here in just a minute. You may remember Charlton Heston as Moses standing on a cliff with his staff in hand and commanding the seas to part for the Paramount presentation. The illusion of the Red Seas parting was first created back in 1923 for the silent film version. It's directed by Cecil B. DeMille. We are going through the Red Sea area here in just a minute, so I need to remind everyone to stay seated as we drive through here. Protect your personal belongings. You don't want them to get wet. Keep your arms and legs inside at all times. And those underwater explosives are still out there. I see one right now, so be warned. There's water around every portion of the map. There's science going on.
Me cago en Dios, momento.
To my side is a portion of the island from the Gilligan's Island TV movies based on the television series. To the driver's side is the Properties Department building. It's the largest prop building in the entire world, over 5 million props inside there. 1929, we decided to make fewer films each year but of higher quality. One of the first ones was All Quiet on the Western Front. It was shot in this area of Little Europe. It's our first Academy Award winning film and won the Best Picture for 1929. Also garnered Lewis Milestone and Oscar for Best Director. You can use this as any European village simply by placing the country's appropriate language over the front of the stores. Recently changed it into France for an upcoming episode of Beverly Hills 90210, where Brenda and Donna's character go to France. Instead of crossing the Atlantic Ocean into France, this is where they came. This may best be known as Pamplona, Spain, where Billy Crystal, Bruno Kirby, and Daniel Stern were chased in the Running of the Bulls from City Slickers, watches by Castle Rock Productions. My side is the Court of Miracles. This is where our monsters roamed around in the 30s and 40s. These films were highly successful for Universal Studios. We used the same set over and over again. They were cheaply produced, didn't have to hire expensive actors such as Clark Gable to play the part, because there was so much makeup applied to the monsters, nobody knew who they were anyways. But they did become legends in their own genre of films. Actors like Bela Lugosi were seen roaming through here as Dracula. We also saw the Mummy and the Werewolf. It props incredibly big to make the actors look incredibly small. Up to the driver's side is a huge telephone. They transported Lily Tomlin into The Incredible Shrinking Woman. For that Universal film, it also starred Charles Grodin, Paul Bunyan, and his pal there, that blue ox named Babe, were used in the feature film The Great Outdoors, starring John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Also to the driver's side is a white plane that was used in the first episode of Quantum Leap, starring Scott Bakula and Dean Stockwell. Another plane that's in this area off to my side, down the hill, that was used in the movie Always, starring Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, and John Goodman. It's a plane where Richard Dreyfuss was flying over the forest fire and went down and up in flame. Also off into the driver's side, another props graveyard area. Instantly used. This is for an upcoming production. And they leave the sets dressed the exact way as it did for the filming, just in case they need to come back here and add scenes to the movie or reshoot some of the scenes that they already shot. So we call this a hot set. It means that it's dressed and ready for shooting. Down here is a metropolitan subway station where most of the action for the feature film took place. Upstairs on the second level is where the art directors created a busy metropolitan. Alright, I guess it was like a slight cover. Big deal. Okay, everyone just stay seated. Hold on tight. Stay calm. And look out to the driver's side. If the rear is clear, then take a bump. You're not going to lie. Ahí va. Alright, everyone, just remove all the space. Okay, try to get you out of here from this seat to this seat. Once again, just please stay seated. I hear a subway train approaching. Where's it? Oh, up to the driver's side there. Here it comes. We got in the back. It looks like fucking sure this is going back the way here. There's up the front. Everyone protect your personal belongings. The water pipes are broken around us. We're about to be flooded out by You just survived the most sophisticated live special effect ever created. Earthquake, the big one, it simulates an 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale. It can be reset in just 45 seconds with quick takes and feature films like Earthquake, that starred George Kennedy. Kennedy also starred in that series. And here to my side, you'll notice the doorways are smaller and narrower than normal. It's kind of interesting to look for the next time you watch one of the feature films, because they did that so when they put the cowboy heroes up against them, they look bigger, brawnier, and more muscular. While to the driver's side, the doorways are larger and wider than normal, so that when they put the women up against them, they look smaller and more petite. Here to my side is a livery stable. It's an actual working livery stable where we house the horses for the Wild West Stunt Show. You can catch the horses and the stunt show at the top of the Starway in the Entertainment Center. There's also where Prince the Talking Mule lived in that series of films that starred Donald O'Connor for Universal back in the 1950s. And once this to the driver's side, Amity Island welcomes you. What if I don't want to be welcomed by Amity Island? I don't think I do, because this area was terrorized by a great white shark and Universal's Academy Award-winning blockbuster film, Jaws. Now this guy that's out here fishing, his name's George. George, hey, I told you yesterday, George, you should be out here fishing in the waters. Still dirty.
¿Dónde?
Shark is out there, not fish. George, get out of the water, the shark's... Hello, George. Can you hear me? He's taking George's bait. Oh, he's taking George as bait. He had a lot of guts out there fishing, and there's some of them. Now we placed some live bait on that yellow float out there in the middle of George's lake. It gives the shark to take it and call the captain to avoid accidents. All right, he's got the float, but he's taking the fish. Diving in the waters and looking for the fisherman and then finding his head in the hole at the bottom of the boat. And this little pathway that we're turning onto now is where Angela Lansbury bicycles down in the opening credits of Murder, She Wrote as Jessica Fletcher. The series has been on the air for 8 seasons now. If you didn't notice the first time we went through Amity Island, look back out to the driver's side one more time. You'll notice that it doubles as Cabot Cove, Maine, the New England harbor town where Jessica Fletcher lives on Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, that white
Angela Lansbury recently won Reynolds as a sheriff. This is a practical set. It's a complete structure on the inside and outside opposed to our facades. And it was also used in the movie Shout, starring John Travolta. You may also remember Otis Redding sang the song Shout in National Lampoon's Animal House. Here to the driver's side is the sorority house that was used in that movie that starred John Belushi. And 2 doors down from the sorority house is where the Munsters lived at 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Next door to that, the yellow house with a white trim is where Macaulay Culkin lived in the music video Black and White by Michael Jackson. Next to that's where Doris Day lived with her husband in the movie The Thrill of It All. Husband was James Garner. She actually lived in all these homes throughout her different movies over the years. Every time with a different husband. And to my side over there in Cabot Cove City Hall is also where the Beaver went to school in the Leave It to Beaver TV series. And the church to the driver's side is where Eddie Munster went to school in the series that starred Frank Wynn and Yvonne McCarlo. Back off to my side, the colonial style home was used in the movie Written on the Wind as Dorothy Malone's home. She won an Academy Award for her performance in that movie that also starred Rock Hudson. Off to the driver's side is a home that has some fish gill siding that was used in Tom Hanks' film The Berms. They actually took that home off of its foundation blocks, placed it right about where the tram's traveling over now to make this into a cul-de-sac area. And over to my side and to the left of the Munsters' house is where James Stewart lived with Helen Hayes and an Invisible Rabbit in the movie Harvey. To the driver's side, the home of the White Columns is where Deanna Durden lived in many of her movie musicals. Next to that, the White House with the green trims where Andy Griffith lives as Ben Matlock in the Viacom production of Matlock. And finally, we have a facade there that was used in the movie The House of the Seven Gables. Starred Vincent Price. He's known for the horror films that he's done over the years. He did one of his first ones for Universal Studios back in 1939. It was a tower. Mr. Hitchcock had one of his characters, a young Marion Crane, drive a road just like this one dark, lonely night. She's searching for a place to stay. It was raining. She needed to dry off. She pulled into a motel that had 12 rooms. 12 rooms. And if it looks a little smaller to you than it did in the film, that's because it was built on a 3/4 scale. So that when Mr. Hitchcock brought his cameras down below, shot up to the house, it made Anthony Perkins look a lot more menacing and ominous, standing there silhouetted on the porch as Norman Bates. But if you want to know how they filmed the shower scenes for the movie of Psycho, you can go to the World of Cinemagic down at Studio Center. They have the Magic of Alfred Hitchcock located there. They'll show you the effects that he used for the shower scenes, also some that were recently used for an upcoming game show called Storm the Castle. It's brought to us by the producers of America's Funniest Home Videos. It'll be seen on CBS this winter or spring of 1993. The contestants are put through obstacle courses such as a 20-foot high pinball machine and a human bowling alley. Also to the driver's side at the top of the hill are that's a look at what our facades look like on the backside. It was a neighborhood area created for the movie Beethoven, starring Charles Grodin and Dean Jones, about a beguiling St. Bernard that wreaks havoc on a Southern California family. It's a great romantic family comedy, and it's now in theaters. Over here off to my side, also behind the castle area, is a skyline. That's part of one of the largest freestanding backdrops in the world. It was originally created for Jaws for the Revenge to start Michael Caine. Mountain Ranger area. We hit in a matter of seconds, actually. We've been having problems with this area here with the ice and snow on these roads. It's been causing a lot of slipping and sliding with the trams. Actually, almost lost one off to the side of the mountain here, but I think they solved that problem by putting some chains on the tires, so we won't have any problems with the slipping and sliding or the snow and ice. But what we may have problems with are avalanches. They happen a lot here in this ice tunnel, but maybe we can avoid it if we just stay completely quiet. Don't even whisper. We can get through this without having one being set off. Scratch that idea, it's already started, so hold on tight. If you feel dizzy going through the ice tunnel, just close your eyes and put your head down like I'm doing.
Empieza con el tembleque. Una trituradora gigante, ¿no?
That you're all leaning off to the driver's side. But you can come lean back over to my side as we tilt this way. Lean on me. Please close your eyes and put your head down if you are dizzy. I don't have any park bags up here anymore. They're using the local last trail. It felt like we're tilted to either side of the tunnel. You know, it's the same view that a little creature from outer space saw as he came down to Earth for the first time. It was E.T., the extraterrestrial. A dozen or so dome-shaped buildings out there are our neighboring studio, Warner Brothers. E.T. was released as a working chicken ranch, and then Carl Laemmle transformed it into a studio back in 1915. Wasn't sure if they would do this, but because of the construction up ahead, we get to come look at some of the vehicles. These are all picture cars. Any type of vehicle seen in front of the camera is a picture car. From a beat-up Pinto that you see in a junkyard scene. The DeLorean from Back to the Future. Oh, the Ferrari from Magnum PI is off there to my side.
Esos coches son de Regreso al Futuro.
Esos
son de Regreso al Futuro.
Just get that one tram out of the way, everyone will be able to see it. We never get to go through
ese taxi de Regreso al Futuro.
Here to my side, well, there's a little car over there.
Sí, ya.
Now,
De
the
Regreso al
puppets are
Futuro.
off to the driver's side.
No, es uno de los que sale por la calle.
There's a police car in Back to the Future Part 2. And this red car here off to the driver's side, that Civic, is just some construction worker's car. And this construction site here off to the driver's side, this is for our upcoming attraction Back to the Future, the ride. It's coming to Universal Studios Hollywood in June of 1993. And inside the attraction, you'll be able to jump into your own time traveling DeLorean, send yourself back to the days of the dinosaurs, clear up to Hill Valley in the year 2015. What we're going to do is take state-of-the-art OmniMax surround screens, those huge screens that give you the illusion that you're in the magic of Alfred Hitchcock, all located inside the World of Cinemagic down here in Studio Center. You'll also find AT&T at the movies, a futuristic look as to how movies may be made in the upcoming years. There's also Lucy, a tribute with memorabilia from America's favorite redhead, Lucille Ball. There's E.T. the Adventure located down in Studio Center. That's fun. Yeah.
Vale, nada más se ve cabeza.
We are coming back in Studio Center. If the tram that's
and welcome to the E.T. adventure. E.T., as you know, was marooned here on Earth forgot. To get to the Green Planet, you're going to need this interplanetary passport. Now, before you leave with ET, tell your first name to one of our assistants, and they'll give you your pass. Ready. Yep, ready. Good luck, everyone.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand clear of the front doors. They will be opening automatically. And please step right inside.
Qué miedo, qué miedo.
Porque como huele, ¿no? Es mi cumpleaños. Nada.
¿Felicidades, Es 6.
Espera, te he dos veces. ¿En qué escena?
Wait, they got ET!
Es cojonudo. Mira. Es cojonudo, Joder. Súper realista, ¡Qué bonito! ¡Ay, guau! Me he perdido el muñeco, me cago en la puta.